Finally,
It's not
we
too
get to
bad out
test
here.
the inflatable tent in the rain. And I must admit, this tent did awesome. I mean, if you look at Russian Bear, you're talking about, you know, 2,500, $3,500. This tent I purchased off Amazon. It probably came from China, who knows? But it was only 500 bucks, only 500 bucks. I know that's still pretty high, but it does a great job. I camped in this with Casey, and beautiful, beautiful weather. And then Saturday morning rains, and the tent was bone dry on the inside. No issues at all. Uh, Very, very comfortable. I had a propane heater in there, and we had plenty of space to sleep. I did original. I've done a video of this, so please go look at some of my old content if you want to see the actual tent. But it did great. Some people wanted to see it perform in the rain, and like I said, it did great. Kept us bone dry. Not an ounce of water, not any water at all in the tent, even at the stove jack. No leaks, because typically the stove jacks will kind of leak around the thread seams, but yeah, no leaks at all. Definitely would recommend it. I want to get rid of I love the zippers, but those strings on the zippers, they get caught up in the Velcro. So I'm going to change those out to maybe a plastic. And here we go, headed to my boat. This is my gift from my wife. And we came here, it was kind of twofold. I didn't expect it to rain, so I wasn't planning on checking the leak testing the tent. But I definitely wanted to get the bass tracker on the water. Um, as you can see here, I haven't done many upgrades, but I did want to make sure I get it set up so I can put bumpers on it because, there's nothing like having a brand new boat and you let, your paint get chipped away. So, yeah, Casey and I, we just launched the boat and I had to drive a country mile to park the truck. So this is Pothole State Park, beautiful state park. We're talking about Eastern Washington, and typically in the summer, this place is still going to be green because they use Potholes Reservoir, and the reservoir is strictly to irrigate all of the farmland around. A lot of apples, a lot of alfalfa fields, which I'm sorry they're going to be affected by the tariffs because we export a lot of alfalfa to China. So sorry, Trump, this is going to hurt us a little bit, but it is what it is. Walking down to the boat ramp and park is beautiful. On the left hand side, that is campsites, primitive campsites. When I say primitive, it just means it doesn't have any power. They're nice campsites. They're close to the water. If you do, by chance, happen to be able to stay here, feel comfortable booking those campsites. They're nice. And then now, all these firms are selling these power generators, Jackeries, Blue Yetis. Um, Power is not really an issue anymore. You can always bring a power bank with you. Without having to run like a generator. And these power banks now, they utilize solar, so it's a good thing. Now we're at the boat ramp. This place, reservoir will freeze in the wintertime. So we're in what I call a shoulder season. Shoulder seasons are really nice, temperate. The weather's nice. Lake's still cold. This lake is very, very cold and high reservoir. It's a reservoir, not a lake. It's a reservoir called Potholes Reservoir. I'm staying at Pothole State Park. There is a resort that's up the street from us, and it is called Mardon. And if you want to know anything about fishing, go to Mardon, and you'll get everything you need to know. So we did the maiden voyage. We're still breaking the motor in, but Casey and I wanted to get out there and get on the water, catch some fish. We were targeting walleye, and the walleye bite was super, super slow. And then we changed it to target fish, trout. They have triploid trout. They're huge trout. Triploid trout, they do not breed. They just eat and get big. I was a little afraid of them because I don't want anything that's genetically engineered. But triploids, they taste more like salmon other than trout. Yeah, but it's a good time. And here's Casey just making sure the boat's okay while I walk down. And this boat, I'll tell you more about it as we continue the video. But I was very, very pleasantly surprised and pleased. And here we go. We're on the water, and I'm sitting in a cast leaning seat. Look at me sucking my stomach in. All right, Levi. I know I need to get in a different shape. Round is still a shape, but I need to get in a better shape. Okay, but I got the elevated casting seat. You can adjust it. So I guess you could say that was an upgrade that I did. And then also I added the Lowrance Eagle Eye 9, which is on the front of the deck here. That's it right there. That thing is awesome. You can see your bait drop down to the fish. I know some people say it's cheating. It's not cheating. It's good. And here's KC trolling. And I have a rod holder up close to my casting seat. So I'm trolling from the front. And I know KC don't want to tell you, but I'll brag about it myself. I thought he had the fish, but it was actually me. I was using a diving bait, with a bill on it. It looked like basically, what the heck was it? It looked like a baby perch. And that trout came up, hit it, took it to midnight. Like my dad used to say, take it to midnight.
Kids started early on their quads.
I was really, really pleasantly surprised at how the boat handled. We did have one issue. They connected my batteries incorrectly. So basically they hooked my trolling motor and my the big motor to the starting battery. So as we were on the water, the wind picked up and I tried to fire up the big motor. It wouldn't start and the trolling motor slowed down because we depleted the battery. But I had two deep cycle batteries that were supposed to be connected to the trolling motor, but the only thing connected to those two batteries was just the electronics. So on the water, I did a bush rig maneuver and basically connected everything to the trolling to one of the trolling batteries. And they're all deep cycle, so no problem. Boat ran great. Here we are. It is lumpy, windy, no water, and a flat bottom boat. So this boat has a modified V-hull and it's flat bottom. It just cut across it like it was nothing. You can see right here. This the camera doesn't do it justice as to how lumpy the reservoir was. But man, look at this thing. It's just gliding across, and we're still breaking the motor in, so we're not at wide open throttle, but we don't need to be. And it's a dry ride, and we're feeling good. You can see rods sticking up. I have my kayak crate, and it has rod holders on it. And so those rods are basically sitting inside those rod holders on my kayak crate. Peeps, you don't have to spend a ton of money. You're going to spend a lot of money anyway with a boat, but you don't have to buy everything brand new. My kayak has a great setup, and this boat basically replaces my kayak. Bass Tracker Classic XL. I definitely, at this point, I recommend it. Thank you very much. Get it, like and subscribe.